Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solutions Tutorials for the Web. This is a continuation of a series of videos that we are doing regarding posting payroll to CHS. And in this particular video, I'm going to go ahead and just make a journal entry for a regular admin person working in the office and somebody that we are maybe collecting or some accounts receivable from. So let's click the button for going to payroll, and we're going to go add a new payroll check, and we're assuming that we have the paycheck in front of us. And I'm going to select April Smith, who is my admin person, and I'll do 8002, and I need a date in 2015, so we'll use the same date we used in our first tutorial, and it's telling me I entered one in the future because today's date dropped in there and it's still 2014. So let's just do regular pay, and let's say we're paying her a weekly paycheck, so it's 40 hours, so that's $1,000, and her GL number dropped in and her department dropped in. We're not job costing her. Her cost type dropped in, so we're done. The federal withholding, we could, if we're doing the payroll ourselves, we could look up in the Circular E by the IRS and figure out how much payroll withholding there might be, or we'd probably have a paycheck in front of us if the payroll service, or some information about how much was withheld. So let's just decide that 195.25 was withheld for whatever reason, and you need to do that as a negative. And then Social Security was probably withheld, and I don't really have a paycheck in front of me. But notice we just, in the previous tutorial, we were setting up payroll categories, and we were applying a liability account 2300 for posting the amount withheld to this field. I have locked because it drops in, and I don't want you to change it to an expense account. And then we had told it that we wanted payroll taxes to be posted to this 8110, the expense side for the employer, and we need to give it an amount, and I don't know what that is. Oh, I guess I should be easy on $1,000, but I'm letting myself get the calculations. So $62 for that, and we're done with that part. And Medicare, it's getting the GL numbers that we set up for the Medicare and the matching GL, and let's just figure out what that is. 1.45%, but I'm using a quantity 0.0145 to do that. This will let you know about it if you don't put a minus here. It'll tell you that you need this to be a negative amount. So I'm looking at my net paycheck and realizing, well, something else was taken out. Oh yeah, it was an advance. So let's do another line. And let's select the category for advances, and remember we attached the default GL number for accounts receivable trade to that category in the previous video. Now you'll notice it's telling me that since the GL account number for accounts receivable was selected, we need to select who owes that and what payer ID. That it could be some other payer ID that was set up for this employee, and put the amount. So over here, the payor we're going to decide is April Smith, and we don't have any receivables. Well, we do. So we have a balance due of $75 over here on this one, so we're going to select that one, and we are going to take minus 75 from her check, and that's what it shows on the stub we're looking at because she owed us that. And this will take care of clearing your accounts receivable at the same time CHS will post, and you'll notice if you go look at your accounts receivable that $75 will show up applied to this accounts receivable invoice. So here's the net amount of our paycheck, and that matches what the payroll service did, and they took it out of our payroll operating, so we're going to use that, and we're going to post that journal entry like we did in the first video. However, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and decide that I'm actually doing payroll myself, and I'm smart enough to have figured all this out. And so I'm going to use an account called Payroll Liabilities, and instead of posting it to a bank account, because it's not out of our bank account yet, I'm going to hold it in this Payroll Liabilities liability account, and so I'm going to have the entry posted to that, and then I'm going to go actually write them a check in accounts payable. And I'll show you how that's done later. I really actually will just post this one for now, playing like we have a payroll service, to cash and that the check is already done. But I'm going to do another tutorial on if you really want CHS to print the check for you, you can. So I'll submit that. It's submitting the whole batch for me, taking care of all of those entries. And when this comes back, I can view the journal entry like I showed before. And you can see there's the net amount coming out of cash. There's the amount that went to accounts receivable trade that we collected, and all the Social Security payables, and the amount that went to salaries, clerical, and the payroll tax expenses. So that entire journal entry was made, and in the case of where I might be going and printing them a check, in this case I posted it to cash already, but you can produce basically a check stub for them if you like. That's how you post just a journal entry. Oh, I wanted to also show you real quickly. Remember how we set up a note that's like an alert for Francis Jones in an earlier video? And I put an alert on it. I check marked the alert. You can see that as soon as I selected Francis Jones to pay and perhaps create a journal entry, I'm getting an alert and it says pay Francis, so I can see that over here right away, so I can remember if for some reason I'm doing my own payroll that I need to pay him $100 for mileage. So you can refer back to the video where I was setting up employees to see how I got this to be in here. You can also add new activities while you're here, or take care of some things like that. Thank you for watching.